This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Will, A Wonderful World. In the last episode, Alicia was able to get out of the clutches of Ray, only to be somehow sucked in again to the assassin's world by people coming after her, or at least in her general area. What a sad world she lives in. And Yi Wen almost got hit by a truck multiple times, and then was helped by Mr. Wen. Where will that go? Well, we don't know. Let's find out.
Carlos,
A new message, Mr. Assassin. Okay. Oh, Carlos. It said, Carlos, I miss you so much on that. God, please give me courage. Oh, we got a new person. We win again. Formula, notes, and answers. I miss him so much is what her tagline is. And, ooh, another new character. I don't want to be like this. And Cell 28. Shit! What's going on now? I've never seen a blacked out letter before. Let me explain. A letter will turn black when its precondition ceases to exist. So a black letter means that the events inside the letter never happened. What is happening to Carlos might have something to do with the sister. Do you mean that something that is happening to his sister might have an impact on Carlos? Yes. But judging from their letters before, I don't think they're writing to us at the same time. Alicia's 9 years older than Carlos, but both of their first letters from when they were 18 years old. You're exactly right. That's why they went to Alicia's letters will have an impact on Carlos. What is happening to Alicia now happened in Carlos's past. Oh, I think I get now. By the way, we'll not be able to process the blackened out letters. As you can see, the other letter connected to it is also in a locked state. A locked letter means that the other letters connected to it are blacked out. If you see a locked letter in the future and check the status of the letters connected to it, when you see a black letter, you may try to open it to obtain more clues. The clues are shown in black dotted lines. The letters are connected by these dotted lines are the reason the previous letter is blacked out. Knowing this, we can start by examining these letters first. Understood. Let me take a look at those letters then. Oh, here's one small tip. Remember what happened to Carlos's previous letter? If I remember correctly, it was about what happened in the auction house after he brought Yi there. Right. Do you remember which ending you chose from? Of course, he saved Yi and also managed to escape himself. Then what happened? Then... Oh, he was taken away by the police, wasn't he? Yes. You could go and check again. Because of the impact from some of the events in the ending might have changed. You mean that even with the same ending, the details of it might have changed any time? Yes, such scenes may happen in the non-ending passages of the stories too. It doesn't happen very often, but if you pay attention, you might find it interesting. I see. So, if we look at his ending, it'll be different? Let's see, history. Embarrassing. Yeah, you saw the coffee shop. Okay, it is new now because I think before he got inside, someone tapped him on the shoulders and then he was arrested by the police. So, okay. What do I say? I burst into the coffee shop, ignoring everyone's startled looks and stopped in front of the barista. I took a deep breath and asked if he knew someone named Alicia. Alicia? Yeah, she was to work here, but she disappeared a while ago. Actually, I'm not entirely certain, so I don't take my word for it. But I heard that she might be dead. That couldn't be true. I stumbled back in shock and fell into a couch. The barista put a hot latte in front of me and sat down by my side, trying to comfort me. But I couldn't hear anything anymore. It must be a lie. My big sister, she wouldn't just... There was a small, smiley face in the latte, but it started to blur, and it turned into a frowny face. Eventually, the frowny face was gone. So, yeah, before he got just straight up arrested, but now it's changed slightly since then. Yeah, and then we had to do this one to figure out what about that one. Yeah, who's this character up here? I assume they're probably minor characters. But anyway, well, if the game wants me to tackle that tied quest first, let's go to Mr. Assassin. Mama didn't have any family in Hong Kong. A few regular customers and I had held a funeral service in his name, but not many people showed up. There were some familiar faces, though. For instance, Ray. Throughout the service, we had kept our distance, pretending not to know each other. People thought Mama died because he had been accidentally caught in the crossfire between his customers. They lamented his bad luck. However, I knew the truth about his death. It was because of me. It was all because of me. Yeah, it was. Half a month later, I began to consider leaving this place full of nightmares and going back to Mexico. Well, I haven't done that years ago. Yeah, well. Zaz. Or Zaz? XS. XS? It was a famous local shopping center with an unusual name, and the prices in the center were even more unusual. I hadn't seen Carlos for so long. I wanted to bring him something nice, but looking at those fancy men's coats, I couldn't help but be at a loss. It had been so many years, I didn't even know what size he would be wearing. I was sizing a brown coat against myself while looking in the mirror, when I felt a sense of danger coming from more than one direction. They lived at the southwestern corner, the discount department in the northwestern corner, the food cart that sold juicy beef balls in the southeastern corner. If I were an assassin of B+ level, they were probably around C-. Still, I was outnumbered. Besides, I didn't have my dagger or gun on me since I didn't expect I would need them. Who rates people by that, like B+, C-? That sounds more like an anime trope than anything. I pretended not to have noticed them and I slowly walked towards the security stairwell in the eastern area. I tried to keep close to the other shoppers. However, the security stairwell turned out not to be so secure either. The only room left was to go towards the 4th floor. They were doing some renovations on the 4th floor. Construction materials were everywhere, but there were no workers around. But then I spotted a sniper with a rifle on the roof of the building across the street. I had to scratch my brain of plan of escape by the window's ledge. I could hear footsteps of different sizes coming from inside the stairwell, even though they were clearly trying to keep it light. I had no choice but to hide in a storage room full of cleaning supplies. I sat down on an upside-down bucket, feeling defeated. I always dreamed about the end of my life every time I went on a mission for Renee. I had the same kind of dream over a dozen times. Therefore, my current situation wasn't completely unexpected for me. Still, I felt a little choked up. I put my hand in my pocket, hoping to find a napkin. Instead, I found a wrinkled business card. The business card that was very suspicious by all standards. 999966668888. The neighbor of the cousin of the neighbor of the devil. No, I have hardly texted the number to them. I have hardly texted a message to the number, asking Assassin Zuko for help. To my surprise, I soon received a reply, albeit an automated one. This number only accepted messages in Morse code. Your message was not valid. Please try again. Ooh, Morse code. I haven't had to use that in forever. I learned a bit of that in Scouts. See if I can still kind of remember it. Morse code is a method of transmitting text information as a series of on and off codes. Different combinations represent various letters, numbers, and symbols. It was named after its inventor, Samuel F.B. Morse. The most well-known Morse code is SOS. ... which became the worldwide standard distress signal in 1908. The letters were not an abbreviation, nor do they have any real meaning. It was chosen simply because it's easy code to be sent and recognized. Yeah, it is. That's why people do SOS. Mayday, Mayday, SOS. ... He, ... That was interesting. My training did include Morse code, but I hadn't used it for a long time. Let me think. It should be ... ... So just SOS, huh? It was SOS sent. A child could do that. I got another response. ... Address. Short for address. They wanted to know where I was. But before I could respond, the people outside had shot the storage room full of holes. Strangely, I didn't die. Every day, people came in and out of the dungeon in which they were holding me. A dungeon? They tortured me in various and creative ways day after day, unleashing their profound hatred. Man, this girl just can't catch a break, can't she? They pulled off my fingernail. Oh, God. That's probably one of the worst things, pulling out their fingernails. Ugh. Or put bamboo shoots on your fingernail. That's also just as bad. Cut off my fingers and toes, dipped my hands and feet into salt water. Man, they must have had a real hate boner for her. They burned me with red hot iron poker and poured boiling oil on me. Isn't that something they did in the Dark Ages, was pour boil oil on people? Anyway, they gouged out my eyes so I could only tell them apart by their voices. Ugh. Kind of reminds me of a scene from Witcher 2 where they, I forgot the witch's name, but she's in a prison with the main character Geralt, or or was she, or did he escape, or something like that. Anyway, they scooped her, because of her crimes, they scooped her eyeballs out with a spoon, like right then and there. You don't actually see it, but you see the results like shortly afterwards. It's pretty gruesome. But they kept asking me the same question. Who do you work for? Where are the drugs? Swear to me! I would never tell them. Well, because she doesn't work for anyone anymore, right? I would take her to my grave. No, to my hell. Eventually, I could no longer tell who was torturing me anymore. My only regret was that I didn't have a cyanide capsule with me. However, there was this one young man named Ren who had asked me once if there was anything he could do for me during his shift. Yeah, put her out of misery, dude. He said he would try his best to do whatever I asked, except for letting me go or killing me. I thought for a while and smiled. I have a younger brother named Carlos. If you meet him someday, please be nice to him. Ray, huh? Or, yeah. Well, I didn't deserve to ask for Ren, sorry. I didn't deserve to ask for Venez from the Heavenly Father. I was doomed to go to hell. Yeah, he did kill a lot of people. My only wish was that my brother could be well and happy. Morse code? That's an interesting human invention. A is period dash, B is slash period, C is... who am I talking to? Alicia. That's what, yeah, he just suddenly started talking all of a sudden. He's like, who am I talking to again? Oh, wow. And then we got all the different combinations, so it depends on what order you're going to do them in. So, alright. Well, let's see what how many variations we have on the... okay, well, first of all, let's set that. Okay, there's only 4 variations on it again. Let's see. Let me look up the definition again really quick, just to... because it's been forever since I was studying Morse code. Okay, so we want to... There's probably, well, it said there's only 4, so how many different variations can we do there that would require? Okay, so... Oh, that's right, I forgot numbers were in there too, up to 9. So we want G. Okay, I think I've got it now. Or at least the ones I'm considering doing anyway. Oops. Okay, so... Okay. Let's see if these will work. Alright. It's kind of weird that the game lets me move all of them. So this one's probably one of the more... I would assume probably one of the more difficult puzzles, because it's Morse code and you're thinking, what 3 letters multiple times can you really put together for this? So I need... Okay. GDS is the first one we're doing. I probably spelled it wrong. Well, what the hell? I wasn't really holding my breath. There was no way they could save me in time even if I could give them the right address. I had given up all hope when the people outside shut the storage room holes. Okay, so, holding me, torture me, doing nasty stuff to me, wouldn't let me die. Who do you work for? Swear to me. You know. Okay. Oh, in that story, she didn't even meet Ray or Ren or whatever. So, okay. So we got that one. Okay, so this time we want to do. Okay. I assume that most of them are bad except for the one good ending. Thus. Sent. It was the name of the shopping center. I wasn't really holding my breath. There was no way that they could see me in time even if they wanted to. And even if they got there, there were 10 floors in the center. By the time they found me, I would be long dead. I was right. In the end, I wasn't saved by this Zuko man. Instead, I was filled full of holes behind the storage room door. Okay, is it gonna say the same thing as before? Torture me, poker me, gouge my eyes out, yeah, same thing, didn't meet the... But that's the A rank, that's just weird. Alright, anyway. You're a weird game. You're so weird, man. Alright, Alright. That should be the final one. Z4. Stint. Z was for Zas, 4th floor. There was no time to send something more specific. I didn't even know they could read it. Boom! An explosion! The entire storage room shook. I couldn't hear any people outside anymore, only the sizzling of burning flames. I pushed away the mop that had just fallen on me and opened the metal door. The entire floor appeared to have been bombed by a fighter jet. The people weren't able to escape from the attack. They were all lying on the ground dead. The sniper across the street was gone. I jumped up off the ledge from the 4th floor and grabbed a hoodie in a nearby shopping mall. When I followed the safest path back to the Chongqing Mansions. The Chongqing Mansions in Hong Kong are located at 36-44 Nathan Road, Sim Sha Sui. The building is 17 stories tall and consists of 5 blocks built in 1961. The mansions are made up of many independent low-budget hotels, shops, and other businesses. The merchants and residents here include many people from South Asia countries such as India, Pakistan, as well as African countries. The Time magazine referred to it as the best example of globalization in action. It has also been one of the favorite spots for backpackers to stay in Hong Kong. Some people, though, consider it a scary den of drug dealers, illegal immigrants, and dubious restaurants. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. However, after a complete renovation in 2004, the conditions have greatly improved. It was also famously featured in Wang Kar-wai's 1994 film Chungking Express. I've never heard about that before. Then again, I've watched a ton of Chinese movies. I opened the door and the first thing I saw was an adult magazine. You're breaking and entering. No. You're breaking and entering. No. I'm just reading in my good friend's home. He's not your good friend. I noticed the intrusion before I came in right now. The surprise visitor was sitting on my bed. He was holding an adult magazine from 3 months ago, and he had a sarcastic mark on his face. Apparently he likes girls in red lingerie, apparently. Well, would you like to... Wrong voice. Well, would you like to be my good friend, then? Or, to be precise, my associate? No thanks, I didn't leave Hong Kong soon. I missed Mexico so much, I missed Carlos so much. He tossed me a phone. I cut it and saw a list of names on the screen. Every name was followed by photos and series of digits. I was the 8th name on the list, and the number after it was massive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $2 million. $2 million doesn't look fantastic. Do you have any family? If so, it's time to cut them off. I tossed the phone back to him. I looked him inside. Why didn't you just kill me? You still owe me for the RPG. It was really expensive, and $2 million is nowhere near enough to cover it. RPG. Role-playing game? No. A rocket-propelled grenade, aka RPG, is a shoulder-fired anti-tank weapons system that fires rockets equipped with an explosive warhead. The rockets are typically fired at walls, grounds, vehicles, and so on to maximize area explosive damage, instead of penetrating damage to human combatants. Due to its applicability and low cost, like the AK series, the RPG has been played an irreversible role in international armed conflict and asymmetric warfare. Yeah, you see this thing everywhere. The most widely known design might be from the RPG-7, designed by the Soviet Union in 1958. Bullshit. Did anybody ever tell you that you're full of it? Fine, this is the real reason. He rolled up his sleeve and I saw a tattoo on his monkey arm. It was a little rabbit carrying a carrot. It's actually a number. Can you tell what it is? The floating ears of the rabbit, the carrot that was sticking out of the body, and the big feet. Was it 3? I believe you have something similar on you. I involuntarily touched the tattoo of my upper stomach. The dragon tattoo. I remembered exactly what it looked like. It was also a number 6. Zuccolette. I collected all my important possessions and put them in a small suitcase. I asked someone else to send all the money out to the orphanage, and obviously, from there I would never write another letter. I had nothing in my wallet but a business card. It had a simple design with unusual contact information on it. A few words were printed in bold on a thin white card. Zuko, assassin broker. Send your resume to 9999-8888-6666. And we get a trophy for figuring out all the variations of Morse code to get our best result. All right, what do we got now? A new message: a boy with a baseball cap, and Unit 4 gone. Another. So what? Now that we've done that, does that unlock anything? Nope. Interesting. We have to keep doing our story again to get the next thing for him. Even though I've been liking to do kind of on a timeline, might as well keep going with Alicia's story. It looks like Chang and Alicia have another tie-in together. A boy with a baseball cap and Unit 4. Oh boy, Alicia's getting a lot of screen time. I feel like we're getting close to her end of her story, like maybe like a handful more. I don't know. I feel like we're close to the end of her little tale, but I could be wrong. Anyway, Zuko had an exclusive and secret business app for himself. Returning guests and people who had a referral would contact him directly in the app, instead of texting some ridiculous Morse code to the numbers on his card. He was good. Even if the targets had somehow learned that Zuko was after them, they would never be able to guess how they would be eliminated, nor when and where it would happen. He was like a magician. It's like magic! Business was good, but he always referred most of his jobs to his associates. He rarely got his own hand dirty and never asked for a cut to the proceedings. He told me that he wasn't doing this for any money, but for information. Occasionally he'd bring up some stories from the days when he had been working for Ray. A lot of them reminded me of my old days. He eventually made too many enemies as well, and struggled for a while after leaving Ray. Once he was already too deep into the assassin pay for business, he realized that he had to give it his all to survive. He also learned that information is more important than your kill count. Thanks to his connections, I was able to learn the identities of the people who had been after me. They were exactly who I thought they'd be. Yet it was practically pointless at this point. Right now, my hilt was worth quite a fortune. If I ever showed up on the streets without a disguise, someone would be gunning for me in no time. I had to move to a new place every 3 months. All the locations were scouted in advance for me by Zuko. He was the only one who always knew where I lived. Currently, my hiding place is at Pitt Street 96. I know where she is! Get her, boys! Funny enough, it was only 20 meters away from Pitt Street 99, the home base of the Black Dragon gang. Once I had even spotted Ray from the window. I had heard that he'd become the new boss of the gang. Big boss man. Just like Solid Snake. Zuko not only helped with covering my tracks, he would also take care of me when something else was wrong. Like today, I was lying in my bed with bandages on my leg and ice bucket on my head. Zuko put a bowl of hot porridge on the nightstand. I could smell a hint of overcooked rice. Then he sank into the couch and began to peruse the 3-month-old adult magazine that he'd brought over. You must really be a fan of that specific magazine. It must have some hot numbers in it. 4 days ago, he gave me the 3 big envelopes. He wasn't the kind of person who would lecture me about justice, but he had his moral preferences. He had put his preferred target at the top of the pile. The first target was a greedy boss who had been stiffing his workers for 3 years. The second target was a paralyzed rich man who had been depending on his steel joint. The third target was the boss of the newest gang, recently established in the Bay Road area. I picked the last one. And I'd gotten in an epic battle, which I had led to this. Don't get me wrong, I was never some kind of vigilante assassin who had the moral high ground either. I didn't right to be, nor did I want to. I was merely someone who had no family. Well, you chose to get rid of that, didn't you? No friends, and no reason to live. And being on the edge of life and death was the only thing that could still make me feel alive. She needs a taste of the adrenaline, baby. I tasted the porridge and fell asleep again. Ring, ring. I seemed to have heard the doorbell ringing, and then I heard the door open, then close. It seemed to be a package delivery. Package? Who'd send me a package? It's got something you know inside. I sprinted on my bed and yelled out Zuko's name. There was no response. I walked to the door of my arsenal. Every time I moved, I would turn the smallest room to a mini arsenal, enhancing it with a security lock with a keypad lock, like a spy, except she's an assassin. Since I was moving in a few days, I had already packed all my weapons and ammo. There was supposed to be nothing inside the room, but I saw an open delivery box just outside the security door. I entered the passcode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't notice that there was someone behind me. Someone grabbed my neck from behind and choked me. I raised my left hand and stabbed my finger towards the throat of my attacker. He did a backflip and got away from me, landing precisely on the window's ledge. His lowered baseball cap covered most of his face, so I could tell there was a slim-fit young man. You're indeed as good as they say. No matter, my mission's done anyway. See you never. The weird Sunday boy left me with this final word, jumped off the ledge and disappeared. I had more important matters ahead than going after him. I went back to the security door. It didn't open, even though I'd entered the passcode. The only explanation was Zuko had locked the door from the inside. He must still be in there. Why would he do that? Boom! An enormous force blew the door off its hinges, twisted and tore it into a million burning pieces that were flying towards me. Zuko was flying in the air along with all of the debris. His neck had been bent at an inconceivable angle due to the explosion. When I finally woke up in the ICU, I realized that my left arm and both of my legs were gone. Geez, what's up with this game and just having appendages being gone and destroyed? I mean, I know it's a bad ending, but, well, why not go to the extreme, right? Maybe it's the person who's writing this, like, where they come from, that seems like a legitimate, like, way to just say, hey, shit happened, you know. I knew that I probably didn't have much time left, yet the doctor still bluntly told me that piece of news. The man that had been found on the scene with me was already dead when the ambulance arrived. Strangely enough, when the doctor said, "I'm sorry for her loss," I wasn't really feeling too much loss. Didn't care much about Zuko, did you, baby? Alicia. No, well, she said she'd lost, didn't have much to live for, so at that point she was like, whatever. Meh. He was a friend of mine. Acquaintance. I set my seat up opposite to the bathroom. The office felt empty. Officer Ji-yeon was still in the hospital. Lieutenant Kang had been sent to a detention center. I couldn't find out where. And Officer Min-jun, I would never be able to see him again. So I was the only one left in Unit 4. Oh yeah, Min-jun died last letter of his. Officer Min-jun had been murdered. This case had been turned over to the Superior Investigation Agency with Unit 3 assisting. Yesterday, people from Unit 3 had come over and taken everything that belonged to Lieutenant Kang. Oh yeah, Lieutenant Kang was blamed for his death. Fortunately, I had been prepared in advance. I'd made copies of some Lieutenant Kang's case files and reports. I also kept the red folder with files on Unit 2. The files and reports are mostly about the case that Unit 4 had solved. Nothing too important in there. Although I did read a lot of familiar words in his report, my words, I finally understood why he'd always told me to write longer reports. He probably had not just copied my reports. It looked like he'd also done the same reports written by Officer Min-jun and Officer Ji-yeon. I shook my head, put them away, and opened the red folder. After they had taken Lieutenant Kang into custody, I'd read everything in the folder multiple times. I had learned that Lieutenant Kang had been the only surviving member of the old Unit 2. The files in the folder have records of the details of Operation White Bay. White Bay? Oh no, that's Green Bay, never mind. Which had been initiated by the previous police major. They also included every mission that Unit 2 had been involved with. Every mission had been a success, except for the last one, codenamed W620. It was during the mission that almost the entire unit had been taken out. Lieutenant Kang must have been reading these files as a memorial to his former colleagues. I can still remember crying when I saw him looking at the documents. I could also remember Officer Min-jun telling me awkward military jokes while he was reading an encyclopedia of firearms. It almost felt like everything had only happened just yesterday. I had fought so hard to be proud member of Unit 4. I thought I could have a chance to spar with Lieutenant Kang every once in a while. That's what you're thinking about? I thought I would be listening to Officer Min-jun's war stories, telling me events that happened a long time ago in some distant islands. I thought that one day I'd be fighting side by side with the three of them, all in the name of justice. It never occurred to me that the day would never come. Yeah, life ain't like a box of chocolates. It had been 3 days since Officer Min-jun was murdered. I heard they found an unregistered Glock 43 in Lieutenant Kang's home. They also found his fingerprints on the gun. The barrel matched with the rifling twist patterns they'd found in the bullet inside Officer Min-jun's body. The time of death had been determined to be at noon of the day that we found his body. It happened to be the time we'd finished taking a drug dealer's statements, and Lieutenant Kang had just left the station a little while earlier. Yep, left just to go take out Min-jun. However, Lieutenant Kang had offered no alibi for himself. How could Lieutenant Kang have possibly done something like this? There must be something he couldn't reveal, if only he could find out where he had been during that time. So far, that was all the information I learned about the case. I had tried seeking out Lieutenant Kang multiple times, expressing my wish to help out as much as I could with the case. Although I knew that being a member of Lieutenant Kang's unit, as well as a teammate of Officer Min-jun, I didn't have any rights to be included. But as long as I could help Lieutenant Kang, I was willing to do anything, no matter what. However, Lieutenant Kang had only had me all the inconsequential chores of Unit 3. He wouldn't even tell me Lieutenant Kang was being held. I was afraid that as far as they were concerned, still allowing me to come to the station was already special treatment for me. I couldn't wait any longer. I had made a decision. I was typing on the keyboard while peeking at the makeup mirror on Officer Ji-yeon's desk. I saw through the mirror that somehow from Unit 3 had just entered a 4-digit passcode to open their safe. In the Criminal Investigation Division, every unit has their own safe to temporarily keep classified documents. As Lieutenant Kang's case was still under investigation, there must be relevant documents inside Unit 3's safe. Sealing classified documents to be sent that way was beyond rule-breaking. If I got caught, I didn't know what kind of punishment would be waiting for me. But as soon as I remembered Officer Min-jun's death and Lieutenant Kang's being framed, I knew it was something I had to do. This would be my justice. 7 p.m. The last person in Unit 3's office wing, Lieutenant Kang, had finally left. I stayed in my seat and kept typing my keyboard for another 5 minutes. I didn't stop until I made sure the entire floor had no other people. Then I walked over to the safe in Unit 3. There was a basket of candies on top of the safe. I opened the door. Yeah, that seemed like a rather random detail to have. Excuse me. There was nothing inside. There was nothing in the safe. Lieutenant Kang had opened the safe earlier before he left. Maybe he'd taken everything inside with him. I went back to my seat defeated. What else could I do to help Lieutenant Kang? Who could help me now? Oh, right. I should go see Officer Ji-yeon. Isn't she in the hospital? I hurried to the hospital, but I didn't get to see her. The nurse told me that she had checked out and left the hospital early that day, but I didn't have a phone number to contact her. Damn, was there nothing else I could do? Please, Buddha, please guide me. What should I do? So you need God to help you be a better detective, huh? The professional. Chang Gyeong-Min. Is that all the... I think that's the one you get if you unlock all of his profile notes. I'll go over them, I think, either like right before the end of the game or whatever. We still got a few episodes to go, but we're kind of getting into that like end story type of thing, I think. Like, you know, I mean, we still got more to go. I'm just saying that we're kind of in that range. But anyway, it looks like Alicia's in the same trouble she always is, as being an assassin, and Chang is a very bad detective. Can we help them out with their problem? Find out next time in the next episode of Will, A Wonderful World. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.